Thank you very much, and hi again, everyone. Welcome to an afternoon of Rays baseball. It's been a while since we've been able to say that, and what a gorgeous day it is. Game 2 of the Grapefruit League schedule, all leading up to the home opener for the Rays this year against Toronto. That'll be at Tropicana Field on the 28th of March. In the meantime, the Rays and the rest of Major League Baseball with a lot of ground to cover for spring training. And Erasmo Ramirez will be on the hill for the Rays to begin this one. And his first pitch is a ball down and in. Parker Meadows, the hitter. Just a gorgeous day. 74 degrees, an azure blue sky, just a light breeze in the ballpark. And there's a strike call. 1-1. And the Rays happy to see a great crowd on hand here this afternoon. With a shot up the middle, and that's going to get past the diving Chang and through into center field. Parker Meadows, the younger brother of the former Ray outfielder Austin Meadows, figures to be an important part of this Detroit ball club this year, and there's that base hit just out of the reach of Chang. So Meadows aboard. That brings up Justin Malloy. Justin Henry Malloy. No ball, no strikes. Malloy coming off a minor league season last year with an excellent batting eye up there. 2-0. In fact, he walked 110 times a year ago in the minor leagues. It's hard to do anything 100 times in the minor league season. We talk about walking 110 times. That is some discipline at the plate. And of course, Erasmo Ramirez, very familiar figure out there to Rays fans in camp. He's a non-roster player, and he misses this one upstairs. Ramirez with a minor league deal. It's a liner and a base hit shot past Chang. That one into left. And the first two men are aboard. So this Detroit ball club yesterday scored 10 runs. They're off with a couple base hits here in this game. They scored 10 runs but lost to New York to the Yankees. They gave up 22. It was a 22-10 final in that game. Zach McKinstry, after the first pitch, sends one deep to left. Peters will go to the track. That's going to be out of his reach, and that ball with a big bound up over the wall. So it's a double. Meadows scores from second on the ground rule double. And the Tigers will have men at second and third. So they have come out of that dugout off the bench and swinging the bats. Well, now two men in scoring position. And Carson Kelly, the catcher, will be up there. Alex Jackson doing the catching for the Rays, spending some time with Ramirez. And Jackson in camp with a very good chance to make this team as a backup to Rene Pinto. First pitch taken for a strike. There's Alex Jackson. So the Rays will be keeping a close eye on him. Pitch is down. 1-1. So the infield close here in the first inning. Kelly fouls it out of play. 1-2. So both these teams coming into this game off opening spring losses. Rays dropped a 6-5 game to the Braves yesterday. Just a little bit of that one, enough to stay alive on the foul ball. Gets exactly what he needed right there. An out with no contact, and the runners remained at second and third on the strikeout of Carson Kelly. And he brings up Andy Ibanez. And a first pitch strike. One and one. Rays last year during the regular season were 5-1 against Detroit. Foul back. Ibanez was in over 100 games for the Tigers last year. An infielder, been around 30 years old. He's out of Havana. And a reach on that one. So back-to-back strikeouts here for Erasmo. Trying to limit the damage to just the one run. And he gets the chase right there. Ryan Valade, the right fielder. And a pitch that just did miss away. Breaking ball had him out in front. 1-1. So Ramirez on his way to pitching out of a tough spot in the first. And now he's one pitch away. And ahead in the count, 1-2. Now the 1-2. He pops him up foul. And that's out of play. One, two again. Upstairs, no chase. 2-2. Rays and the Tigers will see each other on 3 separate occasions this spring. Two, a shot into right. Josh Lowe is there, and a nice job by Erasmo Ramirez to limit the damage to just the 1 run on the 3 consecutive hits to open this game. When we come back, Yandy Diaz will lead it off for the Rays. Look at last year's batting champ right there. Yandy Diaz all set to lead it off. He'll be followed in the lineup by Johnny DeLuca in center field. Josh Lowe will hit third, play right field with Harold Ramirez DHing. Isak Paredes at third. Alex Jackson will hit out of the sixth spot in front of Yu Chang. Slavis Basabe is the number 8 hitter at second. Kristen Peters is the left fielder, and he is batting ninth. The right-hander, Alex Vallejo, is on the hill. 28 years old, out of Alonzo High School. And here's Yandy. Off the .330 season a year ago. Takes ball one. And with that, 22 home runs, so an instant threat in the leadoff spot. 1-1. And a strike, 1 and 2. Yandy, the model of consistency a year ago. He hit 300 or better in each and every month of the season. And went right down, as you recall, to that final day in the regular season, and he won the batting title, hitting .330 and finished ahead of Corey Seager, who hit .327. And the hard stuff up. Gets him. And swing through that one. 1 up, 1 down. Now it's Johnny DeLuca. He's in center field. And the first pitch strike. He is an important part of that trade with the Dodgers, with Glasnow going to the West Coast. Look out off the facing of the dugout. 0-2. So the Rays will get a very good look at him this spring, with a chance to be an important part of this club in the outfield mix. Back-to-back strikeouts right there. 0-2. It'll be interesting to see DeLuca against right-handed pitching. He was a switch hitter for a time, and now hits strictly right-handed, and is very tough on lefties, so he may see a lot of righties this spring. Josh Lowe. Ground ball through into right center for a base hit. Josh Lowe wasting a little time after the first pitch, and he has a base hit. The ride of Ibanez and through. And here is Harold Ramirez. And if you saw him in the opening comments of our telecast, he's a bit trimmer than he was. Takes a strike. And you can tell just by looking at him right there, he has worked hard over the offseason. Thinks that will help him defensively and on the bases as well. One the dirt. A nice pick by Kelly. 2-1. Alex Faedo out there on the hill. Ripped toward left center field. Extra bases coming here. 2 hops and to the wall. Josh Lowe's going to score. It's a double for Ramirez, and the Rays are on the board to tie this game. So Harold Ramirez does what he does so well, and that is make contact with authority. A double up the alley in left center field. We'll be chatting throughout the day with a number of Rays, including Eric Neander. It'll be interesting to have a conversation with him about the future of Harold Ramirez. Here's Isaac Paredes, another big bat. It's inside, 1-0. .31 home runs for the Rays third baseman a year ago. Sharply hit third, backhanded by McKinstry, and a nice play to get Paredes. That will limit the Rays to a run, but they come back to tie it 1-1. Welcome back to Charlotte Sports Park. Rays and the Detroit Tigers all tied 1-1 here. Eric Neander, familiar figure, joined us in the booth. And Eric, head of baseball ops for the Rays. Great to see you. You look relaxed and ready to put a winning roster together again.
We're healthy. We're physically at a good spot, and it's beautiful weather. Let's get it going.
I'll tell you, the best spot in the world, spring training in Florida. It's tough to beat. Well, here's Ramirez on the first pitch. Handled by the shortstop Chang right there. Lipsy is after the initial delivery, and he's out short to first. I did promo you a little bit in the bottom of the first when Harold Ramirez came up, and he came through with that RBI double. And I know that this is not news to you. He's, number one, he's come to camp, and he looks great. I think he looks great no matter what his weight is swinging the bat. And a lot of conversation about him and his future with the Rays. There have been trade talks. And at the same time, he has such value to this club. So where do you come down on that? Where does that leave you?
Yeah, look, I think would have finished third in the batting title if he had enough at-bats and wasn't too far off from it. So
here's a liner into left on that 1-0 pitch. It's Bigby, a pickup out there by Peters, and that'll hold him to a single.
Guys that can hit in this league, he can come off the bench. He hits lefties, gives a tough at-bat against righties. You know, situational baseball, can hit a ball the other way, do a lot of things to help you win games. So somebody that from the moment we got him from Chicago, you know, when the need for another option against left-handed pitching came about, he's exceeded every reasonable expectation we've had for him, and really happy to see the shape that, you know, he came into camp this year looking as good as he ever has. So excited to see it where it takes him, and off to a nice start today.
Runner at first with one out. Leonard, the shortstop. Erasmo Ramirez out there. The pitch is a strike. Well, it's a fun time in the spring because there's, you know, one of the great things about this game, there's speculation everywhere. It's spring training, but regular season. And, you know, everybody has a point of view and an opinion, which is one of the things I think that makes the game so enticing and so great. But you're the guy at the end of the day, you know, you're gonna make the decisions. And I know that the way this organization works is not ever really one man's decision. And you count on the whole organization, don't you?
Yeah. If it were on me, we wouldn't be nearly as successful. So know enough to know that, and we have a lot of great people that all play a small role in this thing, and hopefully it ends up to something bigger than that in the field.
Here's Chang on the chop to short, out at second, out at first. And that's a quick double play right there. 6-4-3. We'll be back. Bottom of the second coming up, and more with Eric in a moment. Eric Neander joining us in the booth here, and he got the Rays out of that big spot in the first, got him a run in the bottom of the first, and here we go. We're talking about spring training, and every year, every club has decisions to make. But the Rays, watching this franchise as I have year in and year out, make significant changes and come out of that contending year after year. And I know that you're not one who's going to seek the limelight, but you do it, and the organization does it collectively, I think, by the decisions it makes.
Yeah, no, we've, like I said, we've got a lot of really good, great people that all have a small part in what we do, and it's something pretty special here the last few years. So, yeah, we're proud of it. And look, we appreciate continuity. I think it left up to us, and we talked about it a lot last offseason in the spring. I think we brought back as much of the roster year over year going into 23 as we have in some time. And coming off 86 wins, I don't know what the expectations were, but by the end of April, they were a lot higher. And I think some part of that has to do with guys coming in and knowing one another, and you just take off. You don't have to get familiar. You don't have to get comfortable and build some of that chemistry and camaraderie. So it is important, but, any given year there is a little bit of turnover, and that's just part of, I think, as we look at it, how to, put ourselves in the position to get in the postseason as often as we can. And one of these years, we're going to find a way to take it down.
Yep. Alex Jackson here with a 1-2 count. And there's a soft liner out to short, grabbed by Leonard. I wanted to get your take on Jackson because catching is a situation coming into spring training. Really, there's Pinto, and that's it. And you're looking for somebody to back up. And I think the job Jackson does behind the plate is his leading attribute.
Yeah, without question. And a former top 10 pick out of high school as a catcher, those journeys can be long and winding. And in his late 20s now, has played with a lot of different organizations.
Here's Yu Chang. He gets into this one. That ball's got some carry and will get out of here. Chang with a homer the other way toward right center. And boy, he put some muscle into that one.
We could talk about you in a minute too. So it's with Alex, has matured a lot, has not a ton of major league experience, but a lot of professional experience and perspective, and somebody we liked enough to go acquire last year in the middle of the year, at the deadline. Unfortunately had a shoulder injury that knocked him out of contention for a club down the stretch, but we liked enough to bring him back. And yeah, he's one of the group here competing for that job with Renee.
And Wasabe taking the pitch inside, 1-0. All right, Chang. I mean, he hit that ball a long way the other way. And I've got to tell you, I'm a little surprised. Now, you might not be.
He can get into it pretty good. Sitting with Cash when we welcomed him to camp, just told him to pick up where he left off with Motor. In his prior stint with us, he did a great job with us, and that was a tough decision when it came to the end of the road of his time with us at that point. But it certainly seems like he has successfully picked up where he left off with Motor.
Wasabe out on the ground ball handled by the shortstop. 2 gone. Well, I think all of us who've been around this team, this franchise, and fans alike who follow it, they're not surprised anymore when there is the emergence of a player who either because of injury or lack of opportunity didn't get a chance someplace else and has gotten it here. And you just never know. And that's why coming into spring training, it really is fun to watch these guys.
Yeah, without question. And, we speak to depth and the importance of it to navigate a season successfully. Some of that's to cover injuries. And then the other part of it is we're wrong a lot. Sometimes they're not as good as we think, and sometimes they're a lot better than we think coming in. And you got to put yourselves in a position to have some of those breakthroughs. And we've been fortunate to identify the right players that fit us and with our development philosophies. And over the years. It's been a nice list that have rewarded us.
This one is down. Now Chang is a guy, for an example, you got a chance to see him firsthand, and then he goes on and makes a couple of stops. You don't forget about him, though.
No.
You keep tabs on all those guys?
Yeah, we got that player universe, so to speak. It's our job to really be on top of it, and you never know. For someone like that that's been with us, could be somebody that we liked in the draft but we didn't have the opportunity to select, and you trade for him a few years later. There's always that trail that exists between all the people that pour in the time to evaluate players, and yeah, without question, the process of bringing in players, acquiring talent, a lot of it, you got to line them up, and it's not just the players you bring in that you spend time on. It's basically everybody to know exactly kind of where they slot on the list, your preferences and so on for opportunities.
That's a strike on Yandy. Runner at first. Peters with a run home on the Chang home run. Each team with a run in the first inning. The Rays with another one here in the second to take the lead. 0-2 the count. Well, Yandy's year last year, he was as consistent as anybody could imagine.
Yeah, I think comfortable. It was years of building trust and a relationship with Yandy, and the staff doing a wonderful job to develop that relationship and the buy-in. And last year, certainly the contract extension, I think, helped him as much as it would any player to demonstrate in action our commitment to him and put him in a position to be willing to try to do a few things differently with our hitting group, and really glad he did.
Tough pitch right there. Strike three call. The Rays get the long ball from Chang. We are through 2, and the Rays lead 2-1. The bottom of the second inning, giving the Rays a 2-1 lead. And we're headed into the third. Great to have Eric Neander stay with us. And Eric, we're going to see a new pitcher here in the third inning. And it's great to have you in as they come in, because you are a lot more familiar, as much as we try to keep up with them. We don't see all the reports and all of that. So Logan Workman comes in here. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, good arm. We got a little bit of time with him last year in spring training up in Tampa against the Yankees. He made a start up there and was pretty hyped up in mid-upper 90s and cutting the ball in the low 90s. And interesting arm. Got some power. Did a really good job this offseason, from a physical standpoint of getting after it, getting himself stronger, and putting his body in the best position to come in and make a positive impression this camp. I think he appreciates the importance of this year for him. He's put the work in, and we'll see where it takes him. But nice set of abilities with some power.
And he makes quick work of Parker Meadows right there. And Meadows, as we mentioned at the outset of this game, the Tigers really like him and think he's going to help them. And Workman made quick work of him.
We'll take it.
Here's Malloy. He shoots one into right center field. DeLuca all the way to the track, and that ball is going to carry out. Same vicinity that Chang hit his. There's a little bit of a jet stream out there, it would seem. Not much action on the flag in left center back there, but both those balls carried well. So that's going to tie the game right here. McKinstry. This pitch is a strike. One. So tell us a little bit about the Glasnow deal with the Dodgers and what the Rays have gotten back, and what you think how that's going to work, and what you hope that will happen with it.
Yeah, well, what I hope is we wake up in a few years and we've got a starting pitcher that's as productive as Glasnow was for us, and a right-handed hitting outfielder that was just as productive as Manuel Margot was for us. So that would be the ideal. Usually you're not getting back the same profiles you're giving up, with less experience and less track record, but it did motivate us, getting that type of return that could kind of, you're giving up some experience, a little more on the come, but two players we liked a lot and kind of kept the balance of our club in a similar place. That had some appeal to us. So it was not something we were dead set on doing going into the offseason. There was a lot of interest, and understandably so. We were prepared to roll into this year with Tyler part of our club, had a lot of open communication with him, but the interest got to a point, and a particular offer like that, with two pieces, we're trying to stay competitive. These are two players we like quite a bit, and we think will be in our mix this year. I think too good to pass up at that point. So Tyler and Manny both were players that have meant a lot to our success, over many years here, the World Series appearance certainly so, and wish them nothing but the best. But so far in the early going here from Ryan Pepio and Johnny DeLuca too, that getting to know them, they fit in well. They're made right, they're competitive, and seem to really be embraced by our organization, our players.
Well, pitching, as we all know, is such an important part of any team, and really in many ways is the backbone of the team. And yet essentially because of injury and things that happen, it also is a very uncertain part of a team, as the Rays found out last year.
Yeah, I think not just us, but certainly us.
Sure.
You need more pitching than you probably have ever needed to navigate a season successfully, and we've been fortunate to have arms on hand that have been able to step up and make the most of opportunities when we've had unfortunate injuries. And somebody like Zach Patel, a great example of that last year. Brought him in. Can't say that's what we envisioned happening. I think Zach would tell you the same, but an opportunity arose, and somebody that had a real feel for throwing strikes, could do it with multiple pitches, and upon getting a day, got after it with his side work to continue to build out his repertoire, and really took to it, and here we are. Just did an unbelievable job, and you just got to continue to have players that you put him in a position to give you that pleasant surprise, and he certainly did that.
It's going to be out of play to run the count full. I tell you, I'm consistently amazed at what this organization can do with talent, and what they can do to recognize specific parts of a pitcher or a player's game and emphasize that and develop that to the point where you're not going to have 25, 26 guys now play the entire season, but you're able to accumulate enough talent with different elements and somehow identify that and make it all jive together.
Yeah. If you could let us know how we're doing it, we'd appreciate it. So
well, that was my question to you. How do you actually do that? Because it really is a remarkable thing that this organization does like that.
Appreciate that, and got a lot of really special people here. That
new runner on the move, and a base hit for Kelly. That's going to send McKinstra over to third, and as that ball gets through, he's going to score. And into second base goes Kelly. That's the second run of the inning. Well, that's a base hit and an error charge to low out there. And it's a 3-2 ball game now. But getting back to that point, we, between the two of us and everybody in this game has been around it, loves to discuss the game and analyze it and try to figure it out, which we never really can do. But I think in all my time around the game, I've never seen a club do what this team can do by putting various elements together, and you've got to have an eye for that in the talent you get and in the opportunities. Here's a liner into left. Kelly's going to be held at third base on the base hit by Ibanez.
Yeah, I think, staff that if it's evaluations, acquisitions, if it's development, a lot of different perspectives, and they all appreciate what each of them provide, and we're trying to best understand the player and how they can help us. And I don't know, I think on both sides of the ball, we try to make sure we spend a lot of time, especially us. We're going to be bringing in players that might have been spit out somewhere else, might not have much opportunity somewhere else. That I think it's important for us to make sure that we identify the things that they do well and don't spend so much time on what they don't do well, and really go to work at just trying to build a stronger mentality. This is a game. We do a lot with data and numbers and, all that without question. But I think first and foremost, you have to believe you can compete and succeed at this level. And I think that's something that as a staff we've emphasized, and I think is attributable to our success as much as just about anything. It's just helping these players appreciate that they do things well, and not just well, but well at the major league level or against their peer group, and just lean into those things. Yeah, and then you start piecing it together.
And I think in the player's mind, the organization, management has got to have enough credibility in the mind of the player to accept that. And I would think that anybody coming into this organization as a player now comes in looking for that. Early on, maybe they would be skeptical, but now I would think the credibility is such that they would love to come here and have those conversations.
And we're not going to get complacent. We're not going to take it for granted, but it's safe to say that it is easier in 2024 than it was in going into 2018. Yep. I can say that by a little bit.
Yeah. First and third, and the pitch is a little wide. Drawing Valade with the 3-0 count. Well, you've added another right-hander to the bullpen in Maton.
Yep.
And I mean, who knows what's going to happen there? But when he signed here, high fly ball back into left. Peters will shade his eyes with that glove and make the catch. Tagging from third and scoring Kelly. Ibanez moves up to second. But he's another guy, Maton, who could be a big part of this pitching staff, it would seem.
Yeah, without question. Probably a little, not direct comparisons, but, Zach Eflin, Phil Maton, two free agent acquisitions, one 2 years ago, one this year, one starter, one reliever. But two that we appreciate for just as they are and feel like, the results and kind of what's on the surface looks kind of similar over a multi-year period, but really getting into it and understanding how they evolved as a pitcher and how they're applying, their pitches and their abilities, feel like they took perhaps a more meaningful step forward than what it might look like on a first pass. And, that's fun. And then they can come in here and continue to get better and work with Kyle and the staff and pick up some new tricks and help to really understand how to maximize their abilities. But just someone that's walking in the door with a proven track record of durability and getting outs. And, it's not just the regular season. Phil's somebody with 20-plus postseason innings and I think a sub-1 ERA. So somebody that, again, as we're trying to figure out how to make deeper runs in the postseason, we've been fortunate to get in the dance. The last few years have been pretty frustrating in terms of the outcomes, and having someone like him that has lived the postseason and to such great success, it's a nice resource to have around as well.
Here's the 1-2 to Lipsius. Did he go? He checked, and it's down 2-2. Well, it has to be frustrating. You look at all the success this franchise has had, and right there's representing season after season of excellence and contending and American League champions in 2020. I mean, at some point, it has to all come together. And I know that to me, it's kind of strange to say. I know it's been frustrating because when you look at all the success, you'd say, how could all that success be frustrating? But there's still that one final step you want to get to.
Yeah, I think
this one is lined up the left side. That's going to score Ibanez. Lipsius heads into second with another run.
Yeah, without question. Using last year as an example, we went through a lot last year, and I don't know I think if we didn't win 99 games, a lot of people would have understood why, right? But we did. And I think in that sense, it's something to be really proud of that we were able to navigate that season. In my opinion, it's the best job Cashy and the staff have ever done to win 99 games. And as much as you pour into it to reach that point within a 24-hour period, have your season end as quickly as it does, it stinks. And I don't know, we'll stay at it. But yeah, getting in, that's the most important step to having a chance to win a championship. But we'd certainly like to do a little bit more, the next time we get in.
Well, the Rays are going to make a pitching change, and we'll take a break and be right back with Eric Neander in a moment. Detroit has put up a 4 spot here in the third to make it a 5-2 game. Looking at Kevin Cash, and Eric, there's a guy who we haven't talked a lot about, but his run very similar to yours. I'll tell you, it seems to be a great match between the guy in the dugout, you in the front office, and the rest of the organization. And you just can't say enough good things about Kevin Cash.
No. Let's talk about him. He doesn't like it. Let's keep it going. No, he's wonderful. And I think when we first hired him and brought him in, there was just an authenticity to him. His energy, his consistency as a player, as a backup catcher, the way he was able to earn and command the respect of all-stars, veterans, Hall of Famers was unique, and what you heard about that. And in so many ways, he's the same now as he was then. Just a really rare mix of.
There's a base hit off the bat of Bigby. Throw's going to come through to the plate. It's going to be late. Whoopsie scores. Run's going to be charged to Workman. And that's going to make it a 5-run inning in a 6-2 game.
Just a rare mix of the strength and the confidence to lead a clubhouse, which isn't for everybody, but then to also pair that strength with just incredible humility, that keeps him wanting to get better, that he holds himself accountable. And going into his 10th season, no signs of let up whatsoever, just as energized, just as committed, and like all of us, wants to give this team, this organization, and this community the championship that we feel like we're close to achieving.
Paredes from deep third takes care of that chopper by Leonard. 9 men come to the plate. It's now 6-2 Detroit.
It happens once.
On to the bottom of inning 3, Detroit grabbing a 6-2 lead. Rick Neander joining us in the booth. Hey, there's Randy Arozarena, and he looks a little stronger, if that's possible.
Sure looks that way. Randy last year, the first 3 months of the season, was a superstar in really every aspect, from the fan engagement to the production on the field and everywhere in between. And I think he just got worn out a little bit, got a little bit tired, and the season caught up with him. Still, Randy's somebody, he'll go out there and play every day. He's had good health and will battle through just about anything to be out there. And we've seen that. I think he's continued to get better, but made a commitment this winter just to making sure he's coming into the year, and that won't happen again, and he can carry through what he started last year. So excited to see it in action, and might need slightly bigger arms for the jersey.
Well, there's a lot more of them that they're going to have to wear down, it would appear. And he's such an energetic guy and has been an important part of this team.
Yeah, without question. And even each year he's continuing to grow up, continuing to mature, and coming in this year, I know he wants to be a better example for our younger players. He's committed to being that much better of a teammate. He's always been a great teammate, but just more of a leader. He's getting to that point in his career, and excited to see that, and excited to see the commitment he's going to make to our group in that regard.
A little close right there, and an attempt to check, and DeLuca is out on strikes on the appeal down to first. So Randy there in the Rays dugout. I'll tell you, from the very beginning, He was such an important presence in this team. And here's another guy in Josh Lowe, who really last year, I think in his own mind, had it all come together and become the player that the Rays had always felt like he could be.
Yeah, that we and he thought he would be, you know, and there was a reason we made space for him in 2022. And look, it's hard to make that adjustment to the big leagues. Very few players hit the ground running, and they take their licks, and that's part of the journey. But, you know, the off season from 22 into 23 kind of reset himself, took a lot of what he learned in 22, made some adjustments, applied it, and had just an incredible season last year. That when you look at the numbers, they were great, but I think each passing month watching him play, it just seemed like he got better and better and better as the year wore on, and we'll love to see that trajectory continue in the 24 year.
And he draws a 4-pitch walk here. The Rays get a base runner with one out in the bottom of the third. To me, it seems from your perspective, organizationally, not you personally, but you're the guy in charge of all of that, but everybody else makes these evaluations as well. Not easily done as you try to project where a young player may be 6 months to 8 months to 12 months out.
Without question. I mean, we struggle to do it with major league players that are established. So it's tough, and you got to trust your staff. You got to trust the people that are experts at different points of a player's journey developmentally, and you hold your group accountable. But look, we have a lot of people that they recognize it's difficult, that we're going to be wrong a lot, and we're obsessed about just trying to get a little bit better each year in that regard, and we've been able to do that over time, and I think that's played a big part of why we've continued to have the Josh Lowe's come through and make a difference for our major league club.
Well, there's so many elements that go into that you have to evaluate. Physical as well as emotional, mental, the whole psychological side.
Yeah, and it's tough. You know, that 18-year-old Josh is a very successful high school player that to that point in his career didn't experience a whole lot of failure.
Third foul as it kicks to the foul side.
How they'll handle adversity when those moments come, and they're coming. You know, they come for all of us, and certainly for the players. You don't know. You try to take your best guess, and oftentimes I think, you know, for our staff, you get to know the player, get an idea of the picture from people that have been around them a lot of their lives, and really the support system. You know, the parents, the people they have around them that are committed to helping them when they, you know, you leave high school and you're thrown in Port Charlotte, nobody's around, and no one really cares about you anymore. You know, it's a different animal real quick, and I would never been able to handle it myself, and it's always amazing when you see players make the transition, just as Josh did, to do that successfully. But just having people around you that can help you through it, I think it's really, really important. It's the player's talent, you know, will carry the day. That's what gets the attention, but it takes a lot of people around them to get them through it, to reach the point that, you know, Josh or any of them reach ultimately.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot here personally.
Let's do it.
Here, you came in here as an intern from Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
And could you have ever imagined that things would have developed the way they have?
No, it's not the most traveled pipeline.
Hey, that's going to be a fair ball. Glove there. By Lips is down at first, and Lowe will go to third. Ramirez is out of there. I mean, there's so many different elements that go into that.
Yeah.
And we all try to maybe chart our course.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, maybe we have a general idea, but to chart it step by step,
yeah,
almost seems impossible.
No, not going to spend a whole lot of time thinking about how all that happened. Look, I love the game. You know, I went to school, loved to play, got hurt. It probably ended things, I don't know, maybe a few years sooner than it would have otherwise. But I just struggled to find the same type of passion for anything else. And, you know, kind of went through that process in college, not knowing really what to do. Came back to baseball, and really fortunate to land in an organization, you know, to give me the initial opportunity, and then continue to provide me with greater opportunity. And, you know, the responsibilities that come with it. This is never something I personally ever set out to do or want to do. I just love baseball, love thinking about it, and getting nerdy about it, and weird, and playing it and so on, and here we are. So really lucky to have had people, Andrew Friedman, initially put me in a position just to be exposed to the inner workings of an organization, and from there just tried to honor the commitment they made to me by growing and getting better and finding new ways to contribute and do whatever was asked. And grateful to Stu, to Matt, to Brian, the people that have been here a long time and have continued to give me those opportunities, and really fortunate to work with a lot of great people, and couldn't imagine doing this with anybody else or anywhere else, really.
Well, the wild pitch turns the walk drawn by Lowe into a run for the Rays. So it's now a 6-3 ball game. Well, it's been a great story, and I think you personally and there are any number of personnel within the organization in different roles, not only on the field but off the field, who've experienced that same trip.
Yeah, it's wild. I can't believe I was in college half a lifetime ago now.
The Rays, a towering fly ball left center, caught by Meadows out there. Eric Neander, thank you so much. I've enjoyed our time together, and look forward to more of that, and look forward to an exciting season ahead.
Thank you, Dwayne. See you soon enough.
Absolutely. Beautiful day at the ballpark. First 3 innings in the books. 6-3 Detroit. Rays with new pitcher out there, the right-hander Manuel Rodriguez. He is the 4th pitcher of the day. And that's going to be a strike here. Meadows up there for the 3rd time. 1-1 to count. And that one disappeared on him. So late break, fighting down and in for strike 2, 1-2. Drop down to first. That's going to be foul. Still 1-2. So there's Rodriguez, Manuel Rodriguez. And the fastball up takes care of Meadows. So Rodriguez strikes out the first man he faces. Runs it up. Shoulder high there. Got to look at Austin Shenton down there at first base. He has taken over for Yandy Diaz. And we'll be hearing from Yandy Diaz in the near future here. Malloy, big cut, fouls it. 0-2. Six runs and 9 hits for Detroit. Rays with 3 runs, 4 hits. Two and two. Loy laying off that pitch. A little tapper out in front. An attempt to barehand that ball that Jackson could not find a handle. And Malloy is aboard for the 3rd straight time. Yeah, they're going to charge Jackson with an error. Unable to come up with that little tap. Comes in a little low right there. Rodriguez. Rays got him from the Cubs last summer and was eventually added to the 40-man roster in December. Ground ball. Nice stop there at second. Out there on the toss. So Basabe to Chang to get the force. And McKinstry reaches on a fielder's choice. Good stop. Took him a little while to find the handle. Got it there in plenty of time. Here's Carson Kelly. Here's Levis Basabe at second base, and he's in the mix. Trying to earn a spot on this team. Pulled toward the corner, and that ball is going to stay fair and get out of here. Over the low wall, that low fence. And a two-run shot for Carson Kelly. Well, the Tigers have scored in every inning except the second. They now have an 8-3 lead. So the home run, the second allowed by Rays pitching in the last couple innings. And a strike here on Ibanez. Check swing back to the mound. Rodriguez with the toss to first. It's a two-run fourth. Detroit now leading 8-3. Fourth, 8-3. The Tigers lead the Rays right now. Let's check in with Tricia and a special guest.
All right, we are here with the batting champ himself, Yandy Diaz. First of all, Yandy, I want to know what the best part of your offseason was.
Todo fue el llegar a este título de la Baraja el año pasado, pero quieres saber cómo estuvo el offseason para ti, la mejor parte.
No, estuvo bien, tú sabes. Gracias a Dios pude ganar ese título de bateo. Y la mejor parte fue que pude jugar bastantes juegos, ayudarle al equipo a llegar a los playoffs, aunque no hemos pasado, pero bueno, esa fue la mejor parte, creo.
The best part was what I was able to do last year. Not only just win the batting champ, or be the batting champ, but being able to get the team to the playoffs and the stuff that we accomplished last year.
Yandy, we heard you're working on your flexibility and agility, and that was your focus this offseason. What did you do to focus on that?
Enfocado en la flexibilidad y la agilidad. ¿Qué hiciste para trabajar con eso?
No, simplemente antes yo hacía mucha pesa, pero ya este año trabajé menos y trabajé más flexibilidad para que los músculos, ¿sabes?, como se recuperen bien, y eso fue lo que me enfoqué este año.
I normally tend to lift a lot more weights, so I didn't do that as much this year because I knew my muscles needed to stretch in a different way. They needed to work in a different way, so I focused on flexibility a lot more.
Is that in hopes of playing 162 this year?
¿Es para que esperes que tal vez jugar 162 este año?
No, tú sabes que jugar 162 juegos es, tú sabes, no es imposible, pero es una cantidad bastante aceptable. Entonces yo me quiero enfocar en jugar 162 juegos, pero bueno, si no lo puedo jugar, por lo menos quiero jugar más de 140.
Yeah, you know, it's a tall task to be able to play 162, and if it's not impossible, I want to be able to at least focus and make that a goal. But if anything, I'd like to at least play more than 140 games in a year.
What went into your consistency last year, Yandy? Because every month you were hitting 300, and then you win the batting title. But what was the key to that consistency for you?
¿Qué fue la clave de la consistencia que tuviste el año pasado? Parece que cada mes bateaste más de 300, pero ¿qué fue el clave?
No, simplemente el enfoque, el trabajar fuerte en el cage, tú sabes, y siempre tener mente positiva, no importa que me haya ido en una serie de 10-0, simplemente me mantuve enfocado y eso fue lo que me dio, ¿sabes?, el resultado.
I think the focus. I think the hard work in the cage and the focus and stay in the positive mentality. You know, it doesn't matter if I went 0 for 6 in a series. You got to keep that mentality positive and just stay focused on for the next game or for the next series.
So what's the goal this year? How do you top it?
Meta para este año.
Tú sabes, ya no quiero decir ya las metas, simplemente quiero tener salud. Yo quiero que con salud yo puedo coger todas las metas que se me pongan enfrente.
Not one specific goal, but just be healthy. And I think if I'm healthy, I think I can achieve any kind of goal I'll have ahead of me.
We think that's a good goal. Yandy, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Dwayne, let's send it back to you.
Well, all right, thank you very much. And the batting champion right there, Yandy Diaz, bringing us up to date. Yu Chang, who hit the home run in the second inning. Vance here with a runner at first. Alex Jackson opened with a single. And it's a 1-0 count here on Chang.
All right.
1-1. Kainer Montero, pitcher number 3 for Detroit. And 2-1. Chang at shortstop today. When he was with the Rays in 2022, he played all 4 spots on the infield. 36 games with the Rays that year. Under this one, he lifts it into left. That ball will carry to the track and is caught for out number 1. Slays Basabe coming up. 1 on, 1 out. That's a strike. Salvi out of Venezuela. He's 23 years old. Quickly down as he fouls that one out of play. 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Toledo worked the front 2 for Detroit. Rays got a run off him in the first, and Chang got the home run off him in the second inning. This one is low. 2-2. Ray Wingemer gave up a run on the inning he worked, 1 inning. That's going to be caught by the second baseman. Throw to first in time. Ibanez starts the 4-3 line drive double play. And the Rays are down in the 4th. We go to the 5th, 8-3 Detroit.
This is Avery. She's had a lot of news this
Welcome back to Charlotte Sports Park. We are joined now by Isak Paredes, who led the Rays in home runs last year. Isak, first of all, I want to know, what was the best part of your offseason?
Bueno, quiero saber qué fue lo mejor de tu offseason este año.
Lo mejor fue, bueno, primeramente estar con la familia y quedar campeón con mi ciudad en el béisbol de invierno, y ese era uno de mis sueños también.
Primarily just being at home with my family, you know, being there and then being in my home city and being the champion over there. And I think that was the best part of my offseason.
Being the champion over there and hopefully bringing taking that into this season. All right, Isak, last year we know you eclipsed 30 home runs with 31 home runs. You flirted with that 30-100 mark, 98 RBI. Are you writing that down as a goal somewhere this year?
31 jonrones el año pasado, casi pegaste 100 RBIs. ¿Crees que eso es una meta que has escribido para este año?
La verdad sí, primeramente, bueno, hacer lo mismo que el año pasado, solamente, bueno, completar la 100 RBI, que solamente faltaron 2 y es con algo que te quedas dentro de ti que bueno, podrían llegar esas 2 RBI.
Yeah, of course, that was something I'm glad I accomplished, and that is something that I think about. Hopefully I can be able to accomplish the 100 RBI mark and keep the 30 home run mark, and then hopefully I can accomplish that by working hard this year.
Kevin Cash was talking about your power before this game, specifically that pull side home run power. He said Chad Mottola kind of opened that up for you. The Rays hitting coach kind of opened that up for you and gave you some freedom to do that. How did that go? Take us through that conversation with Chad.
Bueno, del poder tuyo, Cash mencionó el poder que tienes para left field y que Mottola dijo que te quedes ahí. ¿Qué puedes decir de eso y cómo fue esa conversación?
Pues bueno, ellos me están dando la libertad de mostrar mis habilidades y bueno, la parte fuerte mía es puliar la pelota y agarrar los base hits para el right field. Y bueno, ellos me dejan ser como yo soy y seguir trabajando lo mismo si me está funcionando.
These conversations were about freedom and let me be who I am. And, that's the main goal. It's just if I'm going to hit my homers to left field, I'm going to get my base hits to right field. That's the freedom that they're giving me, and I'm just going to be me, and that's the freedom that they're giving me.
Isak, we have somebody else joining your interview here. We have Jose Siri. What do you expect from this guy this season?
¿Qué esperas de lo que va a ser Siri este año?
Va a ser muy bueno, la verdad. Bueno, él al último tuvo una lesión y él también podría completar los 30 home runs.
No, I think he's going to do really well. He got an injury at the end of the year, but I think he's going to be able to hit 30 home runs this year.
Will you be able to hit 30 home runs this year, Jose Siri?
We see.
We see. We see. Isak, when you look at this group as a whole, I know one of the themes of spring has been unfinished business. You guys did not sugarcoat that you were not happy about how it ended last year. Is that on your mind as motivation after that early exit?
Después de salir temprano en los playoffs el año pasado, ¿crees que la meta para el equipo, para este Spring Training, para todos, es acordarnos de lo que pasó del año pasado y tal vez mejorarnos este año sobre esto?
Sí, la verdad sí, tenemos que hacer ajustes y bueno, todo el mundo, que la mayoría de los jugadores que estamos aquí queremos ganar y queremos llegar más lejos del año pasado y hacerlo mucho mejor, obviamente.
Yeah, I think we got to make those adjustments. With all the players that we have here, we all know that we want to get a lot further than we did last year, and that's what we're going to try to accomplish.
Isak, we appreciate the time. Good luck on that 30-100 mark.
Thank you.
Dwayne, let's send it back up to you.
All right, thank you very much. 2 outs here in the 5th inning with the bases empty in the first pitch. That's Bigby driving one to deep center. And DeLuca's out there to make the catch. So it's a 1-2-3 inning. First time we've seen that today. We'll chat with Kevin Cash when we return. Back headed into the bottom of the 5th inning, 8-3 Detroit, and we are privileged to have Kevin Cash join us from the Rays dugout. And Kevin, great to see you. Spring training underway, and boy, I'll tell you, you wait all winter for it to come, and it's here before you know it. And we talked with Eric Neander earlier today about a couple of the new faces on this team, and I know it's early, just a couple of days in, but everything appears to be settled and settled as you could hope for.
Yeah, look, we're excited about it. It's good to be talking to you. It's good to be back in Port Charlotte, but we are excited about this group. A little bit of a unique situation, what we've been in the past, that a lot of times we've come into this situation in spring training, and the roster is somewhat set. We have a pretty good idea. If we can be fortunate enough to break out healthy, we know who our guys are. This year is a little different. We get some new faces that we get to learn and build some relationships with, and then there's no doubt that there's some spots that guys, we want to see them play well, kind of put their best foot forward throughout the next 4 weeks.
And I know, Kevin, you've had such a great round of success here. Kind of coincides with, as we mentioned, we chatted with Eric Neander, and there's still that one spot now that you want to climb to the mountaintop and get, and I know that's on your mind right from the get-go here in the spring.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, Eric and his group do such a good job in the offseason. And I'd like to think that's kind of the bar that we're trying to set. I mean, we've done some special things getting to the postseason. You talked about your offseason being short. Mine was long. It was a frustrating couple weeks right after the season ended, but you move past it and appreciate the regular season that we had. But once you do it a couple times, you want to get greedy, and I think that's where we're at. We want to get deep somehow into the postseason.
Yeah, nothing wrong with being greedy in that department. I'll tell you what amazes me with this club. There's a liner down to third, and that's going to be out number one. What really amazes me, and the changes that are made, you know, you make those changes sometimes out of necessity, but also, you know, you've added a couple of pieces here in the deal with Los Angeles that have the potential to be very significant and to make that run and get to where you want to go. As we take a look at all the wild card and division champion pennants up there in right field, you have some young talent, and it seems that every spring there are always 2 or 3 of those pieces that develop into the players that you had projected they would be, and I think you're looking for the same thing here.
Yeah, we are. And look, I mean, that's a credit to our player development group, our scouting group, you know, and how we go about acquiring players or having them in the system and getting them ready to come contribute at the big league level. The two you're talking about, you know, Pepio and Johnny DeLuca, who's on deck here, they have made some really impressive first impressions. So we're encouraged about that. You're going to get good players when you give up some good players, and we gave up 2 really good players in Tyler and Manny Margot. And, you know, maybe it's their turn now. We'll see how it unfolds throughout spring.
You know, it seems to me that if you had to put a couple labels on this team and the success they've had, it's always been good arms, good pitching, and versatility. And the 2 guys you mentioned, I mean, DeLuca would fit that versatility role, and Pepio, another one of those good young arms that you hope to incorporate into the success story.
Yeah, I mean, look, without a doubt, standing behind Pepio's live BPs the last couple days, it's powerful, it's strike throwing. And then Johnny here, he's made quite the impression defensively in the outfield. He's got a big arm, and, you know, maybe not the biggest guy, but he's got some pop in the bat that we've seen in batting practice and behind, you know, in the cages, and confident it's going to come out here as these games continue to evolve.
It amazes me, and the development of Josh Lowe was no surprise, but to see a young player such as that, and we've seen a number of those coming through the Rays system, either through the system or acquired in deals, and the ability to project these guys always amazes me when you and the staff can do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, Eric's hired a lot of good people. I don't know if that's me doing it, but Josh Lowe's a special player. I think a lot of people could see, like, you know, I don't know what ceiling he has. I expect for him to take another step this year and really be a big part of us offensively and defensively.
Well, Kevin, I think we're all looking for and hoping for another big step for the team collectively. We'd love to see that for you and the organization. Always great to be in your company, and thanks for the visit this time.
Dwayne, I appreciate it, man. Good talking to you.
Be sure and join the Rays when they take on the Yankees in spring training, presented by Visit Tampa Bay. That will be Tuesday. Your purchase tickets, visit RaysBaseball.com/spring. Let's go down to Tricia Whitaker. Tricia.
Well, hey there, Dwayne. Thank you so much. I am joined by one of the newest members of the Rays. That would be Johnny DeLuca. And Johnny, first of all, I want to know how you found out that you were being traded to the Rays. Where were you, and who told you?
Well, the first rumor came out on Twitter, so I had heard on Twitter, and then it was kind of a few days of like that limbo type where you don't really know what's happening. But It probably ended up being 4 days until it was like official, but yeah, initially it was on Twitter.
What was your reaction? Because this team had to give up a couple really good players to get you guys.
Yeah, obviously you're not really expecting it at first, but after everything settles in, there's just, anticipation and such a good org to be a part of, and super excited.
All right, so take us through that sprint speed that you have. We've heard Kevin Cash talk a lot about it. Rodney Linares has talked about it. 29.7 feet per second as your sprint speed. What would you define? How would you describe how fast you are?
Well, I mean, I try to be as fast as I can. I run fast on the base pass, and I did a little track in high school, so maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, this offseason definitely, trying to get even faster, and nice hit. And yeah, seeing if I could get in that, top 2% of guys in the big leagues.
Done a little play-by-play too. Did a little track in high school. You also like to surf. You told me the other day. Did you do any of that this offseason? And how much did you surf growing up, being a California boy?
I did. I've been surfing since I was like 8 or 9 years old. I did do it this offseason. I was in kind of San Diego. I went to Nicaragua. So yeah, definitely a good off-season workout.
We love that. We got to get to know the new guy a little bit. We also want to know about your mustache. Tell us about when you decided to have a stash, and I don't know, what went into it?
Honestly, I don't really know. I was just trying to change it up, and I don't grow facial hair that well. So yeah, I just was shaving around and was messing with it, and decided to keep it. And yeah, I don't know.
All right. Back to the baseball questions. How would you describe yourself at the plate? Cash mentioned today he feels like you have a lot of whip and a lot of pop in your bat when you step up to the plate. How would you describe your approach when you step up for every at-bat?
Well, today I should hope after Kane 3 times, but yeah, no, I worked on some bat speed stuff this offseason, and my body feels really good. And we're starting the bar super low today, and then only building from there. So.
There we go. We like to hear that. How have you been embraced by this group, being the new guy in the clubhouse? This seems to be a friendly group of guys with a lot of chemistry. Not sure if you've noticed that yet. It's only been a small bit of time, but what have you noticed, and how have you been embraced?
Yeah, it's always, a transition like this is tough, and luckily I had Pep to come with me. And but yeah, the guys here are incredible. Staff, coaches, players, everyone's welcomed me and made me feel at home. So it's been really great so far.
Last thing for you, we asked all the guys this. What was the best part of your offseason? I know you mentioned surfing a lot, but what was the best part?
Yeah, I just like hanging at the beach, hanging with family. I'm pretty simple when it comes down to it. So yeah, just beach and family.
Johnny, thank you so much for the time. We look forward to watching you this season.
Thank you.
Dwayne, let's send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much as we play here in the top of inning 6 in what is now an 8-3 ball game. And there is ball 4 taken by Perez. Winfield Perez draws the walk. Leonard was already down at second base. So 2 men on with nobody out. Donnie Sands will now hit in the place of Murray. The roller is short. Jones to second and over to first. They get the double play. And over to third base goes the runner. He'll be there with 2 gone on the 6-4-3 double play. Greg Jones starting the double play.
Number 5, Workman.
So the lefty, Jimenez, set to go to work. And the pitch is inside. Workman at the plate. McKinstry started the day at third. Big inning for Detroit turned out to be the third when they scored 5. Workman waiting patiently for Jimenez. Lefty on lefty, and the pitch is fouled. 1-1. Single, walk, double play. Wild pitch in the mix. And the runner at third. Into the dirt. Blocked by Meyer. Leonard getting a big lead down from third base, with the left-hander working out of the stretches back to the runner. And with the left-handed hitter up there, Murray is well off that bag at third. And a step back. And is pitcher number 6 for the Rays. And a chop to the left side. That'll be Murray. Gets by him, but there is Jones to make the pickup, and the throw loose at first. So a run will score. It appeared that Murray was going to make that play, and before they knew it, Jones trying to hurry and throw to first, and the run crosses the plate. Here it is.
Number 40, Justin Hayward.
So another run is home. It's 9-3, beg your pardon. Ground ball shortstop. Grabbed by Jones, and the toss to second for the force to retire the side. But another run scores for Detroit. Tigers lead 9-3.
It happens once every 4 years.
Tickets start at just $10 for every Rays regular season home game. Take a look at the schedule and purchase your tickets by visiting RaysBaseball.com. Well, our game moving on to the home half of inning 6. Detroit with a big 5-run third, and the Tigers have not let off or let up. They let off with a single, and that turned that into a run to start the game. 1 run in the first, 5 in the third, 2 unearned runs in the fourth, and another run in the sixth. And for the Rays, single runs in each of the first 3. And as we go to the bottom of the 6th, Nico Holzheiser will hit. He will lead it off against Andrew Vasquez, the lefty. Holzheiser did go around. Strike 1. That's a strike. One ball, 2 strikes. It's a long one, but well foul. Holding the count right there at 1-2. Well, Josh Lowe opened in this number 3 spot. He scored 2 of the Rays runs on a single and a walk. That's wide. The count is full. And a walk will start the home half of inning 6. Vasquez gives up the base on balls. Now Dominic Keegan will pinch hit. Ramirez began the day as the designated hitter. He doubled in a run in the first. And now it's Keegan to hit. 1 ball, no strikes. Tanner Murray is on deck. And it's a 2 ball, no strike count on Keegan. Vasquez having a little trouble with the zone here. And back-to-back walks. This one on 4 pitches. And the Rays had drawn only 1 walk all day until the 2 walks here to begin the bottom of the 6th inning. Tanner Murray will be the hitter. And we'll remind you, you can sign up your little slugger for the Rays Rookies Kids Club, presented by Suncoast Credit Union. For only $40, the MVP membership includes a free kids meal at every home game and discounts on tickets. Join today at RaysBaseball.com/RaysRookies. Well, a little gathering on the mound with back-to-back walks. The Tigers are in a game giving up 14 walks yesterday against the Yankees. Can you imagine that? 14 walks in a game. Wow. And another pitch out of the zone. Ball 1 here to Murray. One and one now. They tried to check, but could not on the breaking ball. It's 1-2. And I've also been informed that they also hit 5 batters yesterday. How about that? 14 walks and 5 hit batters. Back-to-back walks in the 6th and a couple wild pitches in this game. So they're making strides. And the Rays trail the Tigers 9-3.
Yes, sir.
That will take the count to 2-2. Close pitch. And now it's wide. So 2 walks and now a full count. This after getting the jump 1-2. Popped up. shallow center, out from second. Infield fly in effect. And that is out number one. Now Nick Meyer, the catcher. He entered the game in the 5th inning. Gets an at bat here in the 6th.
Additional defensive changes for Detroit.
Way wide, 1-0.
Number 94, Andrew Navigato, enters to be on the shortstop. Number 67, Ryan McGriff, enters to be on the left field. Number 96, Brady Allen, enters to be in the right field. 94, Navigato at shortstop. 67, McGriff in left. 96.
2-0 the count.
In right.
Yes, sir.
2-1 now. Chop foul down the third base side. Count evens, 2-2. Meyer's first plate appearance. Oh, breaking ball in there for strike 3 call. We're 2 gone now. And now Greg Jones will have his first plate appearance of the day after taking over at shortstop in the 5th inning. Pitch is a strike. Two walks and then the pop up and the strikeout. One and one. Has got that one to break in. 1-2. That's foul back.
There we go.
And just missed in. 2-2. He taps it foul. Jones, he was a first-round pick for the Rays in 2019. And a ground ball down to third. Throw to first will be in time. He is out. 2 men left after they had opened the inning by drawing back-to-back walks. 9-3 Detroit.
Play ball. You're watching.
Reminder, Rays 2024 single game tickets on sale now. Purchase your tickets at RaysBaseball.com. 2024 regular season presented by Bayfront Health. Well, it's a gorgeous day, 74 degrees at game time. Clear skies. It's a beautiful day to be out. We're moving on to the 7th inning. So far, it has been Detroit's advantage after a 5-run 3rd inning. And the Tigers lead the Rays 9-3. Keyshawn Askew is the new pitcher. As we open the 7th inning, it's Carlos Mendoza leading off. 1-0 the count on Mendoza. That almost hit him, a little close right there. And Mendoza there ahead in the count, 2-0. Went for a pitch up and in. Trying to protect himself as much as anything on that one. Not the typical pitch you would offer at 2-0. Back 2-2. Detroit with 9 runs, double figures in hits with 12. The Rays have 3 runs on 5 hits. Popped up. Foul ball. Meyer looking for it and makes the catch. Brady Allen in right field will be the hitter. So this is his first at bat. Inside. No ball, no strikes. And that's upstairs. 2-0. Askew on to work the 7th inning. And falls behind 3-0. Call there, 3-1. That'll take it all the way out. Askew, the 7th pitcher employed in this game by the Rays, and a little time there to give Meyer a chance to gather his thoughts after that foul ball. Cut and a miss. So Allen is out on strikes. Drop down to the right-handed hitter there by the lefty. Eliezer Alfonso will bat. This will be his first plate appearance. First pitch is a strike. 0-2. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 inning. Middle of the 7th, 9-3 Detroit.
Charlotte, we are joined now by the Rays bench coach Rodney Linares. And Rodney, I want to know, what was the best part of your offseason?
Just being at home, being with my kids, spending time with the family, and, going out to the beach, just enjoying life. It was my first year not working winter ball or any of that, so after a long season, it was good to be around the family.
Rodney had some time off. We love to hear that. All right, I want to know, last season, you guys have talked a lot about this spring, how the ending last year, the early exit really sat with you guys. Did it sit with you during the offseason, and how does that change how you approach spring and this regular season?
I think every day, we faced a tough team last year. They end up winning the World Series, which kind of made it a little bit not as bad because they did win, but nobody wants the season to end like that. We talked about it. We had plenty of conversations with all the staff about what we should do different this year. Just go out there and let the guys perform and enjoy what they do.
All right, let's talk about what we saw earlier in this game. Harold Ramirez started things off with that RBI double. What have you seen from him? Because he lost 15 pounds this offseason. He looks slimmer.
He did. No, Harold can hit. That's all I can say. Harold can hit. He's a big part of what we're trying to do. He was a big part last year. He's going to be a big part of what we do this year. Everybody knows the type of player he is, and, we expect Harold to continue to contribute.
Yandy Diaz, we talked to him earlier. What impresses you most about the batting champ himself? Is it his consistency? Is it his ability to just know the strike zone? Is it his approach to the game? What is it?
For me, it's growth. Yandy's grown so much. This is my 6th year here. I've been here every year with him. He came aboard when I came aboard. And, the growth that I've seen from Yandy, from being this guy that, really quiet, didn't say much, to a guy that, can actually express himself and be himself and go out there and perform. It was really special to watch him do what he did last year. And, we expect Johnny to have an even bigger year this year.
You mentioned he's a little quiet. He still is a little quiet, but is he more of a lead by example type of guy, or is he not quiet when we're not around? Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is.
Oh, boy.
I think that's what it is. Yandy, again, he's got that quiet demeanor, but, he leads, like you said, he leads by example. And, he's one of our leaders in the clubhouse. He's quiet, but when he has to speak up, people listen.
We talked to Johnny DeLuca earlier today. He was in the lineup today, and we got our first glimpse at him. What can he add to this team? We've heard a lot about how speedy he is on the bases, his defense. Cash described his arm as a cannon of an arm, and his discipline in the box. What do you expect?
Well, I've been impressed. I've been impressed with Johnny, his work in the backfields. We've been working a lot in the backfields. I've been around the outfielders a little bit more this year. And, he's been really, really pleasant surprise. Everything, he's been as good as advertised. He goes out there, he can go get the balls. We got a pretty good guy out there with Siri, and he's as good. His arm's pretty good. He's impressive watching his BPs. So, just let him play, let him be Johnny and show up. And, he's a Ray now, and we expect him to do well.
We know we did not get to see him today, but the other guy that came over in that trade was Ryan Pepio. What do you expect from him this season?
I was really impressed with him. I watched him throw the other day when it was raining, and I watched him throw inside. He was really impressive. Ball was coming out of his hand. He's got a little moxie in him. He's got a little moxie in him. I like it.
Isak Paredes, we spoke with him earlier as well. Of course, last year he hit the cover off the ball, 31 home runs, flirted with that 100 RBI mark at 98. I know that's a goal for him this season, but what are you anticipating from him?
A better year, more consistent. You know, Isak is a guy that needed a lot of confidence, and now he's filled with confidence. He had that good year. He's coming off a back-to-back 2 good years. Last year was really special for him and for us, and we expect him to do well like he did last year. Well, Cardenas just hit that ball probably 400 feet. No, I'm 500 feet.
Yeah? You want to call that one, Rodney?
That was a long one. That's impressive.
I think Rodney might have a future in play-by-play here.
I don't know about that. I leave that up to you guys.
You leave that up to Dwayne Stats?
Dwayne does a great job. They do a good job up there, so I leave that up to them.
We appreciate the time, Rodney. On that note, Dwayne, we will send it back to you from one of your biggest fans down here, Rodney Linares.
Well, it's a mutual admiration society there. He's so valuable to this club, and we appreciate the kind words. I'll tell you, Cardenas just hit that ball out of sight is what he did. And now we go back around to the top side. This is Austin Shenton. The pitch is a strike. Here's an interesting guy, too, in Shenton. The Rays got him for Diego Castillo. This one is a little wide, 1-1. Went to Florida International. The Mariners drafted him in 2019. And he has shown some very good power. Between AAA and AA last year, he had 29 home runs. And he may be a guy to keep your eye on. That's a shot deep into right. Bryant on the run in front of the track, and he makes the catch to retire Shenton. And that's the second out. Now Cameron Meisner will come up there. A chance to swing the bat. He's under this one. He skies it into center. Who's going to catch it? Nobody. And now the ball's kicked back into right center field. Meisner's on his way to third. They're going to wave him all the way around, and he will score standing up. He circles the bases. They have Ryan and Perez converging on that, and as Perez made a dive for it, then the ball was kicked beyond the right fielder, Ryan. And Meisner circles the bases, and the Rays pick up another run. That's an inside the park home run. Cardenas hit one to left out of sight, and Meisner circles the bases with the inside the parker. Well, the first pitch to Nico Holsizer is up. Inside a bit, 1-0. One expands the zone there. Well, Yu Chang homered back in the second inning, and now the home run by Cardenas. And Meisner's inside the park home run, so the Rays have 3 home runs in this game. They have out-homered the Tigers 3-1, but they trail 9-5. And this one is down. So Holsizer with a 2-2 count. That's a shot into left field. Will be caught in front of the track. Madras there to make the grab. 2 runs on 2 home runs. One an inside the park home run by Meisner. And at the end of 7, well, it's a 9-5 ball game. MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to your favorite ballpark. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and a lot more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Well, here we go to the 8th inning. And the first pitch, Madras shoots it into right. And right there for it, Holzheiser. Hard hit ball off the bat of Madras. And that's the first out. Ian Seymour is the new pitcher. There's that shot. Started to dive on Holzheiser, and he was up for the challenge. Navigato, the shortstop, up here now facing Seymour. 1-1. Two and one. Seymour, 25 years old. He had Tommy John surgery a couple years ago. Now 2-2. Too high, full count. And he gets the strikeout as Navigato. A line drive and a strikeout. And we'll go back around to the top of the order. Winfield Perez. He walked in the 6th inning. 1 ball, no strikes. Two and 0. One. Rays and the Tigers today. Rays will square off against Baltimore tomorrow and then host the Yankees here on Tuesday. Ground ball deep short. And the throw to first. A nice scoop there by Shitten on the receiving end. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the 8th coming, 9-5 Detroit. Become a Rays Insider. Register to receive Rays emails, get exclusive offers, latest updates on the team, and more straight to your inbox. Become a Rays Insider today at RaysBaseball.com/newsletter. We go to the Rays half of the 8th inning, and Wilmer Flores will be the new pitcher. Number 6 for the Detroit Tigers today. A steady stream of pitching changes. Dominic Keegan will lead it off, the DH for the Rays. The Rays Rays have utilized 8 pitchers and Detroit 6. Harold Ramirez opened in the DH spot for the Rays. He had the RBI double back in the first that tied the game at 1. Pitches of all things a little sideways for the Rays in the top of the third when the Tigers scored 5. One and one. Right side in the direction of the dugout. 1 and 2. Big chop out to second. The toss to first. It's a ball, 2 strikes. Rasmo Ramirez opened this game for the Rays, worked 2 innings. He gave up 3 hits to start this game and a run. And with minute second and third, nobody out, he got the next 3 hitters. And then worked another inning, scoreless. He waited Logan Workman, who was promptly tagged in what turned out to be a 5-run inning for Detroit. Cuevas worked to end that inning. Gave way to Rodriguez, who gave up a couple runs. Garcia, nothing. That is a strike call. So Murray caught looking. Nick Meyer, he is the catcher. That's upstairs. Rays have been retired in order once today. That was in the 5th. Tigers have been retired. And a little close right there. 2 and 2. Well, 9-0 for Detroit. 6-9-2 for the Rays. Capper foul. Shot the other way, foul. Ruben Cardenas is on deck. He hit that home run to the left field in the 7th inning when the Rays hit 2 home runs, one being the inside the park home run by Meisner. And the count's going to go full. Well, another base runner, and the Rays would get the potential tying run to the plate. shot down the left side. That's going to be a fair ball. Will bounce to the wall. Jones will score. It's a double. A run batted in for Hinojosa. And the Rays will get the potential tying run to the plate in what is now a 9-7 game. Well, so here is Ruben Cardenas. And now it would appear the Tigers are going to make a move here. Flores got the first two men, has given up a single, an RBI double, and another double. Let's see what they decide to do. They have a lefty in the bullpen. And they're going to stay with Flores.
No problem.
We'll take a look at the home run struck by Cardenas in the seventh.
We expect him to do.
So the Rays with a shot. There's one drilled into left. That will two-hop the fence. That's going to make it a one-run game. Cardenas didn't waste any time. He jumped on that first pitch, driving in his second run of the day. And with that, he makes it a one-run game, and that will force the pitching change. So the Rays make it 9-8 here. So the Rays have had 3 consecutive RBI doubles. Cardenas short hops the fence out there. And we will be back with a new pitcher in a moment. That suddenly made this a one-run game, and the Tigers are playing the wolf at the door game. Here is Adam Wolf. They're asking him to close the door, and the Rays are going to have Shinton coming up, and he's going to try to blow that door open. Well, the Rays offense, that guy right there is enjoying what he's seeing lately. A couple of home runs in the 7th inning, then with 2 outs, a single and 3 consecutive doubles in the 8th inning. So that offense showing some life. Chad Mottola liking what he is seeing. And here is Shinton. He takes the first pitch for a strike. Austin Shinton 0 for 2. He drove in 99 runs in the minor leagues last year. 50 at Durham, 49 at Montgomery. And a little looper, that's going to drop. Base hit. And here comes Cardenas in to score. And the Rays have tied this game. It's 9-9. Shinton comes through. Following the 3 consecutive doubles, he drops a single, driving in the tying run here in the 8th. How about that for a comeback? And now Cameron Meisner, who homered in the 7th inning. That turned out to be an inside the park home run. And he jumps it foul. So lefty against lefty. Time, too much time looking in by Wolf, and Meisner stepping out. Now he's ready. And that's a strike. Puts him down 0-2. Did he go? He started, but check. On a pitch down and away. 1-2. And that is strike 3 call. Started that pitch at Meisner, and it broke enough to catch the plate. 8 men come to the plate, and the Rays tie it 9-9.
Lightning Hockey is on.
So the Rays have tied this game. We're headed into the 9th inning. Ruben Cardenas for the home run in the 7th and the RBI double in the 8th inning positioned the Rays to tie it. Shenton dropped a base hit, scoring Cardenas with the tying run. And we're headed into the 9th inning. Austin Vernon will be the new pitcher for the Rays. Sands going to lead it off here in the 9th for Detroit. Workman will follow. So there's an automatic ball, a little too much time, so the count's going to be 1-0 after this conference. Trying to get things squared away. Strike 1. Well, this game was tied at the end of 1 inning and tied again at the end of 8 innings. At one point, Detroit led by 6. It's now tied. Rays scoring 2 in the 7th and 4 in the 8th to make it 9-9. It's upstairs. And don't forget, we mentioned it earlier. The Tigers scored 10 runs yesterday and lost by 12. They've scored 9 in this one, and they're tied after 8. And that will take care of Sands. Murray throws him out. So 1 away. And now Workman about to step in. Workman, a pinch hitter in the 6th, drove in a run. Oh, 2. Foul back. strike 3 call. Ground ball and a strikeout. 2 up and 2 down. Justin Hura taps it foul for a strike. Pitch darted away. 0-2, pretty good pitch right there by Vernon. And this one changing the eye level of Hura there. Up a little bit, and it's 1-2. Here it is. Two called third strikes in the inning. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. Holzheiser, Keegan, and Murray due up, tied at 9.
We are coming to you live.
It's a tie game. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 2 runs in the 7th and 4 in the 8th. Tied this game. About as even as you could be. Each team with 12 hits, 9 runs. Nico Holzheiser will lead off against Bergner. And that's a ball. The Rays scored those 4 runs after 2 men had been retired in the 8th. That's a little close. He started, checked in time, 2-0. Side, getting back to the bag, taking the throw, and that is out number 1. Hura got back to take the throw from Mendoza. So 1 away. Well, Dominic Keegan up there. Upstairs, 1-0. That's a strike call. $18 runs, 24 hits in this game. Tied in the bottom of the 9th. 2-1.
I think so. It looked like it.
Ground ball back to third. Backhand pickup. Workman's throw. And that's out at first. Hura had to leave the bag, but toward the runner. So 2 outs. Here's Tanner Murray. Murray entered in the 6th inning, 0 for 2. A strike as it pops away from the catcher. Just missed there. 1-1. Way upstairs. 2-1. 8 pitchers for Detroit in this game. 9 pitchers employed by the Rays. And a high popper on the left side, angling out. The shortstop backing up. And he makes the catch to retire the side and to close this one out. The Rays and the Detroit Tigers battle to a 9-9 tie. 9 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Rays with 5 left. 9-12-0, 5 left for Detroit. 2 hours and 41 minutes time of the game before 5,130. It ends in a 9-9 tie with 2 runs in the 7th and 4 runs in the 8th scored by the Rays lineup. Great to have you with us as the Rays and the Detroit Tigers battle to this 9-9 tie. For our entire crew, this is Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast. We will see you again on Tuesday. So long.